Inter turn up the heat, Klopp plans summer spending, Setien's winning return, a transfer roundup, and today's Emoji Mondays, all coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers and this is the Daily News. First off, Lazio won 1-0 against Parma, meaning that they are now on 53 points. That is just 1 point behind the joint leaders. In second, there's Juventus. They stumbled to a 2-1 defeat where even though Cristiano Ronaldo scored for a 10th consecutive Serie A game, one off joining the record, his team still lost. Hellas Verona managed to turn it around. That meant that Inter Milan could climb to top of the table, and they did this with quite a stunning derby victory. I mean, it's one thing winning the derby, but it's another thing winning the derby when you're 2-0 down at half-time to win 4-2. Of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic had to have his say for AC Milan in this game as well. Not only did he set up Ante Rebic's opener, but also headed in the second goal. Half-time, 2-0, things looking pretty good for Zlatan and the red and black half of Milan. However, the second half went completely and utterly different. Inter Milan just thrashed them. They blew them away, and Romelu Lukaku put the seal on the victory with a goal to make it 4-2 in the end. It looks like nothing can stop Antonio Conte this season. They've got one loss in all of their 23 games so far, and if they can finally break Juventus' dominance on the title, well, I think it'll be celebrated all over Europe, not just in Serie A. But on to a bit of transfer news next, and apparently Jurgen Klopp is planning a bit of summer spending. There are two massive names on his transfer list as he wants to bring in an attacking midfielder. First off, and it's Kai Havertz. From Leverkusen, Havertz is just an unbelievable player. Last year, he was a teenager with the most amount of goals in Europe. All that from a midfield position. This season, he hasn't scored as many, but he's still showing what a world-class player he will go on to be. The only problem is Leverkusen definitely know this, and they're going to hold out for at least 120 million. At least that's the reported figure. If Klopp doesn't feel like spending that kind of money, well, apparently there have been some rumours that he's looking at bringing Coutinho back to Anfield. Now, I know Coutinho didn't exactly leave under the best of circumstances because he really wanted to move to Barcelona. He then went there and said that he's got more chance of winning trophies, and then we know what happened in the Champions League. Besides this, though, Barcelona are set to make a massive loss if they do sell Coutinho for around 77 million. It's clear things haven't worked out in the new camp. Things aren't going too much better at Bayern Munich in terms of him having a future with the current reigning German champions. So maybe going back to Liverpool, he may have to be a little bit humbled, but he will be joining the best team in the world at the moment. Of course, there's still much to happen between now and when the transfer window actually opens, but it's a good sign for Liverpool fans that Klopp is actually planning to spend and to keep moving forward, rather than just stick with the same team that's dominating this year and just hoping they'll do the same thing again next year. Standing still in football, not a good idea. But talking of Barcelona and Setien, their manager, who returned to his former club Real Betis and came away with all 3 points. It was an unbelievable match, had absolutely everything. 2 red cards, a couple of turnarounds, a 3-2 victory. Lionel Messi had a hat-trick of assists, and it was just brilliant, entertaining football. Not necessarily because all the football was that great, but for everything I've just mentioned, it really was a cracker of a game. Clement Lenglet headed in the winner with about 15 minutes to go, and it means that Barcelona cut down Real Madrid's lead, which they extended to 6 points after a 4-1 victory over Osasuna on Saturday. It really was a weekend for goal-scoring defenders, with Sergio Ramos getting on the score sheet as well. What it means now is that basically it's between the two for the La Liga title this season, with unbelievably Getafe sitting in 3rd position. Of course, the Clásico at the beginning of March is now taking on even more importance, as if Real Madrid can win that and extend their lead to the top, well, they may just be in with a first La Liga title for a fair few years. So next up, we come to a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer rumours, where Willian Jose wants to leave Real Sociedad and join Barcelona. If Klopp's going to go spending this summer, he may get the money from selling Roberto Firmino to Bayern Munich for £75 million. Thiago Silva wants to stay at PSG beyond the season when his contract expires in the summer, and the absolute nonsense rumour of the day is that Manchester United are going to pay 150 million for Aston Villa's Jack Grealish. There is no way on earth that is happening. So next up, we come to a look back on your Friday feels, where you guys left your footballing predictions in the Daily News comment section on Friday. First up, and Brian Yim guessed that Bayern Munich and Leipzig would draw and that Zlatan would score in the Milan derby. Next up, and Laura McIntyre guessed that Dortmund would score 3 goals at the weekend, which they did, debutant Emre Can getting one of those. And lastly but not least, Pranav Bagal said that Cristiano Ronaldo has scored his 10th consecutive Serie A game without it being a penalty. Absolutely correct. So here we are at Emoji Mondays. This is where we throw a couple of emojis down over some of the weekend's action. First off, and the best player goes to Filip Kostic. An unbelievable weekend for the Frankfurt winger, as he got 2 goals and 2 assists in their 5-0 thrashing of Augsburg. The crazy moment of this weekend goes to the unfortunate Marcel, the defender from Lyon, who smashed the ball into his own net for PSG's 3rd goal in their 4-2 victory. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. It is just a string of calamitous errors. And lastly but not least, the best result of the weekend goes to Leverkusen. A topsy-turvy game in the Bundesliga saw them with a late turnaround beat Dortmund 4-3 in a spectacular match. So there you have it. Let me know your Emoji Mondays down below and your thoughts on the rest of today's daily news in the comments section. Whilst you're there, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.